And now we have a dear friend of mine, Kevin Duguay, with us. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Linda. Great to be here. Not good to be here, great to be here.
This is great to be here. Like I said, we've been having a great day, a lot of information, and now we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart. And so I'm going to step out. I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll chat.
Okay, great. So I won't share well, maybe I will share my screen. Let's do that. Let me go to, let's find, here we go. Let's optimize everything. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
And you can see that, Linda? We're
We
allowed.
got it. We're good.
Okay, fantastic. So for those who don't know me, I have known Linda now for several years, and we have connected, no pun intended, through a mutual love of helping others in our own different ways. And I get the pleasure of sharing about a product and a science that's very, very fond to me because of the people that we've been able to help in this area of neuroscience. And I'm going to make it simple for us all because what I've learned as a clinician, I work here up in Burlington, Ontario, Canada, with a wonderful doctor here at a clinic called Biogem, and it's a functional neuroregenerative clinic. And the caregiving side is dear to me because I've been down this journey with my father-in-law who had MS and my mother with her challenges. And I have a potential other family member that I'll be probably getting involved with as well on the younger side because life happens. And so to be around different options to help people is part of is the cool thing about, for example, this conference. And I was just tickled into watching that little clip on urban polling because yeah, man, those walking poles make a huge difference, and we're going to talk a bit about that as well. So I get the fun part of closing out the day and talking about what you see here. And I'm going to just stop the screen share for a second. I want to show you on camera what this actually looks like live. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. So you can see this wafer thin technology. You can see there's an imprint. There's a good shot of it right there. There's an imprint on this patch. So we're going to be talking about this technology and specifically what it does up here and how it works. And I think you'll be quite amazed when you start to see what is possible with the brain through touch technology. So let's get into this, and I'm looking forward to see where this goes. So again, so my background, just so you know, I'm 64 years old, so I'm an active ager, and I have been blessed to be part of the sports medicine, health and wellness, clinical teaching side of sports medicine, exercise science, health and wellness for 40 plus years. And the top two-thirds of this slide is my journey to when I arrived in this field of wearable neurotechnology. Now, as a disclaimer, I was not taught any of this in school. This is something I learned 3 decades later. And through this journey is how I met Linda through another good friend by the name of Jen Moyer. And it's become this wonderful relationship in this light. So you can see on the bottom left-hand corner from the 2 or 3 slides in, this is where I work. And I'm in a really cool part of science to help people with their quality of life. And there's some images down here in the bottom. So on that side, share a little bit of information. So you may know this if you're in the caregiving side or you're not, or you're on the receiving side of the caregiver. But we're talking about the critical system in the body. And when I present this to people, I have fun, right? Because I say, what's the first, the answer is on the screen, by the way. I said, what's the first system formed in the womb? When you're very small, very bunch of cells coming together, it's the nervous system. So when I ask this question to kids, I go, hey, if the nervous system is the first system formed in the womb, it must be the most They all get the right answer. And if you're joining with me on beside your screen, behind your screen, it's the most important, Kev. You're right. So it's most important. And when you look at what it does, if you look at the bottom line, for example, your brain is busy. Just so you know
Yeah.
what that number means, folks, it's 64 with 15 zeros after it. This is how wonderful our body is made, but this is how powerful the nervous system is in regards to what it does. So we're going to be talking about how we help this system work better. Okay. Now, the next thing, skin. So neurohaptic, neuro, brain, haptic, touch, skin. Okay, so that's where the word comes from. And so what we've learned in the body is the skin, which is the first bullet, is the largest organ in the body. It's very important, but it has this beautiful part called the nervous system or sensory nerves that's relaying information to where? Up here, up to the brain. And it's a continual process. So, this science that you're going to see here in a few minutes is taking advantage of what's in our body. And like you saw with the title called Braille for the Brain. So, we're going to be using the power of touch to do some pretty special things with your central nervous system. And so, like all of us, when we came across something, whether it was you saw in the advertisement, whether it's urban polling or whether it's a type of exercise, there's always that initial encounter that going, wow, this is going to help me with my quality of life. So this is a big thing I've learned in the caregiver side. And we're going to get into some of the challenges in a second. But what I've learned is that when you encounter something that has a profound effect on you, it leaves a mark. And this was a very profound mark for me because when I met this gentleman who discovered this power of this technology through touch, through a patch, which I showed you, he was in a similar journey as a caregiver, caring for his mother who had MS. So when he was a young boy, this is Jay Dhaliwal, his mother contracted MS. And he did everything he could, like a caregiver, to find a way to help his mother. And in his journey, discovered something. And that's when I met him 11 years ago, when I discovered through touch what could happen with your brain and something very specific in the area of balance and stability. So as an active ager, imagine being able to transform instantly your balance, power, and stability. That's what happened to me 11 years ago. We're going to talk about this because this is a big component in our clinic. It's a big component with active aging. And we look at people where they call it neurological inconveniences. Or another term that I met with an individual in Florida when I was down there a few weeks ago, working with Parkinsonian groups, is a movement disorder. So we're going to talk about this to how I can help you, show you something to help you understand. So when we look at health challenges, so myself, when I was helping with my father-in-law, and I look at the strain that we go through as the care. So I'm going to talk about both here. I'm going to talk about the caregiver and the person that you're caring for, because you're like a team, okay? Because we need both. And this applies not only to the older demographics, but to the younger ones. So there are caregivers that we've met. We have them here in the clinic that are caring for a child that needs continual care because of certain challenges. So when we look at the mental side of an ongoing procedure process that we're doing, this is what's potentially waiting for us. And so just like the previous ad you saw with the lady with in the military side, is I got to look after myself. So I'm going to talk about you here as the caregiver. I've learned this as a 64-year-old grandfather now, that I need to look after myself. It's very important. And so when we look at these challenges that we face in a continual state of caring, that we give, well, what about me, Kev? What about helping me to be my best? Because not only is that person I'm caring for depending on me, but I need me to be my best as well because I'm the one that's doing a lot of the work to help them in that area. So that's one thing I want you to remember now. The second thing is the physical side. Okay, because I saw that I saw the toll that it took on our family of all the work that went in looking after an individual who has now more challenges. And so, and I've seen here in the clinic, for example, when the families that we treat where there's somebody with a neurological inconvenience going, now it's affected, their sleep is being affected. I'm talking about the caregiver here. So when your sleep, hang on, let me shut my phone off. I should have done this earlier. Is when your sleep is being affected, your body is now going under a lot of duress. And this is a big part of what we're going to be talking about these with the neurotech as we go forward here of how we can show you some options to help you with these areas. We look at the wear and tear it takes on the body. We look at what happens to the immune system under stress and lack of sleep. And then your own physical health may be compromised because you're so busy caring for the other person that you are now neglecting yourself. And we've seen these people here as an example in the clinic. They come in, Kev, I got to start looking after myself now because I'm starting to wear myself down. So the caregiver has their challenges. And what we saw on the other side is this. So you may have seen this term, and if not, this is it. This you can learn from this is what we've learned on the medical side is we're trying to help people with their challenges. And there's different approaches and there's different options. I'm going to show you an option. I'm here to educate, teach, show, you'll decide. So what we do with everybody here that comes, for example, in our clinic or the people that I work with. What we have seen, and this is in the statistics, okay, that the loved ones that we care for that are on multiple medications, okay, so polypharmacy, 5 or more, these are some of the side effects of being on multiple meds. Okay. And so if I look at falls and cognitive and the interactions, and I said, if there was something I could show you as an option to help in some of those areas, is that of interest for you? They go, really, Kev? There's something else out there that I can try, I can use to help not only me, but the person I'm caring for? Because I saw what happened to my father-in-law with MS. I saw how it affected his balance and the falls that he had and the scrapes on his shins and trying to get by with the cane and the walker. And this is before I came into this science, okay? I didn't have it at the time. We're trying everything we can to help with his mobility and his confidence and getting out of a chair and being able to ambulate and anything we could. So that's what we're going to talk about. So when we look at ourselves, when I share this in my presentations to different groups, so I want you to look at this picture and see where are you in this picture? Are you more on the left side or are you more on the right side? And they go, you'll decide. There's audience participation. And I said, imagine if I could show you something that could help you get from the left side to the right side. Really, Kev? Yeah, that's why we're here today. That's why Linda asked me to come and share about this. So this is my mission, is to help people get from the left side to the right side. And you're going to see a few profound components here in what it does. So when we look at the person receiving the care, or potentially even yourself, because of what the toll it's taken on your body, you look at these red circles and you go, these are some of the challenges that we face in looking in the polypharmacy side or in just the ongoing care that we need to provide for our loved ones or in a medical setting. These are the challenges that people are faced with in regards to choices that we make. So when seeing what's out there in society, you start talking to the caregivers and you start talking to the people receiving the care and ourselves in a clinical component, is there something else that we can do from listening to the people to give them what they would love to see? And I want you to draw your attention to the top circle and the far left. I'm going to talk about something that's so unique and so profound. Why? Because it's drug-free and there's no contraindications. Okay, some people, this doesn't make any sense, Kev. It will in a few minutes. This is what I've learned. This is what I've been a part of for the last 11 years of my life in the health and wellness field of caring for people who have different challenges. So again, you look at these circles, I go, it's simple to use. It's non-invasive. There's no side effects. Please tell me more. I love to learn more. So this is what inspired Jay in his journey to help his mother with MS. And this is what we come to the table with. And this is what we're going to talk about today in a bit more detail. So when you look at this slide and you see these phrases, these statements, drug-free, non-reactionary, FDA registered, non-addictive, easy to use. This was designed for people that have movement disorders or neurological inconvenience, or just me as a 64-year-old, that you have something that can help me be a better clinician, father, grandfather? Yes. So what I'm going to do to explain this, I'm going to let a video do the talk. It's only 90 seconds, but it's going to explain the science behind this. And I have a lot more in a few different slides, but we're going to keep it simple today because there's always more that we can share and we can talk about if we have time at the end. But I let the video do the explain because it's going to tie back to the title you saw, Braille for the Brain. This is the power of touch. Just so you know, they still don't know how blind people can read, but they know that they can because it's been around for a couple hundred years. That's the power of touch. What Jay has learned is something called neural coding, C-O-D-I-N-G, through a patch, which you saw, works through your skin, through your nervous system. And so here we go. So I'm going to play the video. It's 90 seconds long. Enjoy it. And here we go.
Super Patch is the most advanced wearable technology in the market, with 15 plus years of research and development. Super Patches are 100% drug-free, non-invasive, and backed by science. Our skin absorbs and transmits information from many different types of stimulation. Every physical, emotional, and psychological function has a corresponding neural code or message in our brain that controls and regulates it. Due to factors such as injury, stress, genetics, etc., these neural codes can get disrupted, leading to poor health, wellness, and performance. At Super Patch, we've decoded these neural messages that manage the neural control of physical, emotional, and psychological functions. Every single Super Patch has a unique pattern of ridges in it, similar to a QR code. When these ridges come in contact with our skin, the receptors in and around our skin send a message to our brain, which then decodes it. This intricate pattern of ridges is known as vibrotactile technology, or VTT for short. When the patch stimulates the skin receptors, it generates and sends a very complex signal to our brain to correct the specific neural codes that may be disrupted. The effects are almost immediate, so you focus less on overcoming wellness and quality of life challenges and more on living a happier and healthier life. Whether it's improving your sleep, enhancing your sports performance, or unlocking other life-enhancing benefits, Super Patch has you covered. Try Super Patch today and start your health and wellness journey.
So this is the simplicity, but the power. In a couple slides, I'm going to show you a practical application with an activator of what happens with their balance and stability instantaneously with this tech. This is what's so profound about one of the technologies. Because when I work with older clients, I have a very simple line. And I have this with my high performance athletes as well. And the kids. How important is balance, power, and stability to your quality of life? You go, Kev, it's really important. So if I could show you how I could instantly, and you heard me correctly, instantly, not tomorrow, not in a week, not next month, instantly improve your balance, power, stability, stamina, speed, endurance, posture, respiratory function, pain management, without drugs, without chemicals, without side effects, without counter reactions. Would you like to see it? If not, no big deal. They go, absolutely, Kev. So this is how it works. So you saw, we said earlier in the slide, nervous system, first system formed in the womb. Every body functions a neural program. This is a practical application. Tomorrow morning when you get dressed, I learned this from a very smart neurologist in Chicago. He says, Kev, when you put the right leg in first to get dressed, when you put on your underwear or your pants? I go, yeah. You know what? Try this tomorrow. Put the left leg in first. Really? Yeah. Just try it and see how it goes. You want to have fun tomorrow, folks? Try that. Or when you put your shirt on, you always put one arm in first. I'm a lefty, so my left arm goes in first and then my right. Tomorrow, try the right arm, then the left arm. See what it feels like. Brain goes, what are you doing, Kev? We always get dressed this way. Why are you doing it another way? Actually, you know what? Because it's very good for your brain. That's a talk for another call. And so what happens, as you can see in the second paragraph, things get stuck. Life happens, as they call it. And so the pattern that you see on this patch that you saw in the video is like a QR code. And it works through your nervous system. This is what's so profound about this. It's a simple patch that works through touch. And it does something wonderful in your brain. I'm going to show you something here. So we know this. I shared this earlier. How do blind people read? Oh, yeah, there's bumps on a page. And the brain goes, I know what those bumps are, Kev. Those bumps in that pattern is the letter A. And you'd see people learning how to communicate through touch. We use the same mechanism, okay? We use the same mechanism. So I'm going to show a practical application of this tech. Now, I want you to imagine I am where you are right now with your loved one. I've been doing this for 11 years. I have been able to share this with the most elite athletes in the world and the most fragile and frail. I'm going to show you what happens to this active ager on the left of what she knows about balance and stability. And you're going to see what happens when I put that patch that I showed you earlier on her arm. And you're going to see what happens to her balance. Okay? Now, when I share this with people to explain this in English, this is what I say. So you're going to hear it. We're going to participate. So if you're watching with me right now, I want you to imagine for me the worst place for traffic where you live. You got it? And you go, I got it, Kev. I-75 was in Florida a few weeks ago. I-95, whatever. And now I want you to imagine for me your favorite place in the world that you've ever been to. You got it? Yeah, I got it, Kev. Okay, so where you are right now, whatever you're dealing with, neurologically, you're in that traffic jam. Big sad face comes over people. When I put the patch on you, you're going to be neurologically in your favorite place instantly. And I go, what? Let me show you. I got all that other stuff. I got all the science and I got all those papers and I'll show you that in a second. But I'm going to show you. So when I go to seniors' homes, so what I do, show and tell. So you're going to watch, you're going to listen, and I'll cue it for you as we go through. So this is lateral stability. So this is dynamic. So feet together. I'll stop and talk here in a second. So
this is a tough test for seniors. Okay.
So a lot of seniors
Fist over fist like this.
A lot of seniors don't like putting their feet together because they don't have a stable base. Okay. Now I want you to see something with her as I play this along here, as I cue her up into the position.
Fist over fist.
So what we do is this is fall prevention.
No, fist over fist.
We're going to go fist over fist.
Right against your chest.
I'm going to point something out here. And I've noticed this with my seniors.
I'm going to slowly push down to the floor. Don't let me push your arms down. You stay tall like a tree.
Okay.
Hands here. I'm going to slowly.
Okay. I want you to see here, you see how she's kind of in a forward lean position? She's not able to stand perfectly straight. This is why you saw the commercial earlier with urban polling, why poles are so critical for balance, because the poles are in front of you and they help keep you upright. It's part of walking, right? So when you're already in this angle of this lady, your center of balance is already forward. In other words, if you catch your foot on something, you're already closer to the floor. We know what happens when the older demographics fall and break something. The statistic. So what I'm doing here now is I'm going to be pulling straight down to the floor, and I gently apply force to disturb her balance. I'm trying to see how much strength does she have through her core to stay straight so she doesn't fall. Watch what happens to her heels. Let me get my mouse here. Watch what happens to her heels as I gently pull down on her fists. Watch what happens.
Push down. Once and resist. Okay, very
There
easy
she
to
comes
move.
forward so easily off.
One time.
Watch, I'll do it again.
I'm going to push down. You pull up, resist. Okay.
And her heels come right off the floor. So I stop. This is not a strength test. This is a balance assessment. I'm trying to see how much muscular control do you have to stay straight without moving off your feet. Okay? That's without the tech. That's you being in the traffic jam. Now we're going to put on the patch that you saw in the video, but this patch works on a specific part of your brain called the brain stem. You don't know anything about the brain stem. The function of the brain stem: balance, power, stability. Watch what happens to her. Okay, so I put the patch on her arm. The nervous system picks up the pattern. You saw this on the video. Watch what happens.
Okay, let's do this one. Let's do the feet together because you're stronger. Feet together.
Feet together again.
Fist over fist.
Fist over fist.
Fist. Two fists.
Trying to get her queued up. Very gentle.
I'm going to slowly push down.
Watch what happens. She doesn't move.
I almost beat you.
Yeah, you did.
I love these seniors that get excited. I almost beat you. She's in her 80s. This is the change that happens, and you're going to hear me correctly, every single time. It doesn't matter what you have. I tell people, I do not treat, diagnose, and cure. That's the brain's job. Our job with our technology is it optimizes brain function through touch. Instantly. You saw this, what happened with this lady. And there's more. Okay? So you may not know of this study, but this is something you can try. I show this to the clients here in the clinic. Did you know that there's a study out there to see where you are with your balance? And it's linked to longevity. So it's a biomarker, as they call it. You don't have to do it here. Go home, put a couch beside you, 2 chairs, have somebody around you if you have poor balance. I got to try this, Kev. Stand on 1 foot. Okay? Stand on 1 foot. I'm standing on 1 foot right now. You got to trust me because you can't see my feet. And can you stand still for 10 seconds? Not 9, not 9.5, not 8, 10. On both feet. Try this. If you can't, you have a balance challenge. You saw what happened to the lady. You mean, Kev, all you got to do is put on like a little sticker? Yep. It's got a neuro code in it. Works for every single human on the planet. Same QR code, basically, in layman's terms. That's the difference. Okay. In the brain, we have a lot of smart people that we met in this journey. There's a field of science in neuroscience where they do what's called brain mapping, called QEEG brain mapping, quantitative electroencephalogram. That's why we go short, QEEG. Easy to remember. Basically, this picture that you see, this is you on the traffic jam without the patch on the left-hand side, red. Green is the optimal color when they do this type of analysis in the brain. Okay, so this when we look at people with neurological challenges, we can look, I call it under the hood. We can look inside the brain. They put a cap on you and they measure the color the brain's communicating and you get a report card. Does it look green? Like when I was in Florida 3 weeks ago, everything was green. I was in Toronto and I was on brown. I said, I love the color green. You know what? The color green is the preferred color. It goes red and yellow and blue and light blue. There's moments for that, but it's not supposed to stay there. It's not supposed to stay there. Red's too fast, dark blue's too slow. Green is optimal. Patch goes on, boom, there you are in the green. That's what happened to her balance instantly. So we have seen this with our studies. When we put the patch, put the device on the brain, look at the report card, as I call it, look at the report, get the score, they can measure all this stuff, put the patch on, watch what happens. If you want to learn more, reach out to me afterwards, leave my email. I can send you the video. You can watch what happens in real time with this $50,000 device on somebody's head, and you can see like, holy jumping, Kev. Really? Yeah. I can save you the $50,000. I can save you the thousands of dollars on the test by just doing the balance assessment we saw with the other lady. Okay. So again, imagine being able to put a patch on and taking you from that left side, which you talked about earlier, and get you to the right side. If I can help you with the balance and all these other components, we'll get there in a sec. Going, holy smokes, Kev, really? Yeah, this is why we keep doing what we're doing, because we meet people that have these challenges. Now, when I meet people, and I got my active agers, I'm going to talk to my pickleball people here now, for example, okay? I got my active agers thing, and Kev, I live in the villages. A friend who's down there in Florida going, man, we got a lot of activities going, right? Linda's involved with this. Why? Activities are powerful for you. So if you saw the lady, if you go to the fifth point, you go to the fifth bullet, 10% improvement on dual leg stability. Kev, you give me like double-digit improvements on my balance, and all you got to do is put a little sticker on? Yeah. That's as simple as it is. But those numbers that you see here, this is very powerful. This is helping you with your quality of life. More eccentric force. You have more power in your body to do what you need to get out of a chair, to climb stairs, to stand, to sit, to posture. These are the numbers that we have. And so in our journey, we started meeting people. So we help people, and the people that we were helping were being seen by clinicians. And they go, hey, you're walking better. You're moving better. You got better balance. You got more strength. What are you doing? Oh, I got my friend Linda there. She told me about this stuff. I've been trying it. We have over 10,000 practitioners now using this technology as a tool in their clinical practice. Doesn't take the place of whatever you are doing as a practitioner. Keep exercising, keep doing your urban polling, keep doing your aquafit, you want to add something to enhance the performance of your body? No drugs, no chemicals, no side effects. Kev, I like what I'm starting to see here. So we started meeting people. They did their own independent study with their own clients, and they go, you know what? I have a specialty in an area. I have a specialty in gerontology, Kev. I work with a lot of people that have like movement disorders and people that have balance challenges. Yep, been there. I was in Florida with the Florida team and up here in Canada in conferences. And I do a very simple demonstration like you just saw. I'm going to show you a couple more in a second here because I got some more time. And you're going to watch what happens to these people going, holy smokes, Kev, really? So you just start finding the right kind of people that just love helping people. And so because we had met the medical people, we got studies. I'm going to point out a couple things. So there are people that want this, no problem. We have a medical practitioner side, but I want to share something here. This is like profound, folks. Chronic pain affects a lot of people. Can you imagine? But it's reality now. There's an option. There's an option with a patch, a neural patch. No drugs, no chemicals, no contraindications, no side effects. And you look at the study that was done with this patch, this is revolutionary. This is revolutionary, these numbers. It's an option, folks. It's all it is. Kev, you know what? I would love to try something other than what I'm doing because this is a lot simpler. You choose. And so, again, when you have this kind of day 7 and day 14, and you look at the numbers, they're not small numbers. And people go, I'd like to try this. Go ahead. Love to be able to help you in this. Again, it's so out there. I don't want to use this language, but this is what happens with technology. That who'd ever imagine that we could have a phone that just by touching our phone, we could get somewhere by the power of touch. We're using the same science with this. Another challenge that the caregivers face is because of the wear and tear on your body, and you're dealing with people that, for example, the person you're caring for has sleep challenges, and they're waking up 2 to 3 times a night or 4 times a night or whatever, and your sleep is being broken. Well, we know what happens. And so, again, imagine being able to utilize a different pattern, different patch that works on optimizing the sleep networks to help you with your deep sleep and your REM sleep, which is critical for us. So in the medical field, in fact, I'll give you a story, folks. In the professional athletics field, when I talk to the top trainers, they go, Kev, sleep is everything. It's the most important thing, Kev. Why? Because you repair and rebuild and regenerate when you sleep. And when sleep is compromised, the body doesn't respond well. And there's a great book, if you love to read, there's a great book by a gentleman out of California. His name is Dr. Matthew Walker. He has a book called Why We Sleep. Read the book. I share this with the clients. I go, read the book. You learn everything about sleep and why it's so important. I go, Kev, wow, I never knew this. So again, imagine an option to help you with sleep. And again, whether you're dealing with, paraplegics, etc. So I'll share a story because I want to show you a wheelchair demonstration with this tech. This is the first time I came across a Paralympic athlete or paraplegic at that time. So you can see the image. He's in a motorcycle accident, okay? Hit and run, left to die in a ditch. Nurse finds him, get him to hospital, traveled all over the world to rebuild his body.
Just for the conference.
Okay? And I'm going to show you what happens to his core stability with the patch. So he's rebuilt his body. He's competing, he's training. He's got these big arms here, okay? And I'm going to show him, and I was so excited. This is Starbucks. Okay, I do this anywhere. I'm about helping people. So I want you to imagine you are in a chair. You're using a walker, and now I'm sitting you in your walker, and watch what happens to Lee with his core strength with the patch, and watch his expression. So, same position as the lady saw.
So your arms may drop. You may come forward.
He's in a very safe place. I do this a lot with my seniors.
Okay. So you lock and load.
I'm gonna sit. Let it roll here. I'm gonna push straight down on his feet, and you see him just come forward in his chair. So now he repositions himself. We organize the camera here.
I just want to be able to.
I'm gonna do it again.
Good. Sure.
Push down slowly. He's trying to sit tall in his chair. Watch what happens. He comes forward right in the chair. Okay? And put the patch on. just like you saw with the senior. Okay? Put on the skin. Because it's neuro, it's instant. Within 7 seconds, the brain has gone from that red that you saw to the green. He doesn't know this. This is the first paraplegic I was able to share the demo on. Got the patch on.
Lock and load.
Repositioned.
I'm like stoked.
Fist over fist. Watch this. I push down, like planted.
That's sick. That's a bit different. That's sick. My trunk stability is a bit different. That's weird.
You feel a little different.
Yeah, it's different. Like, what kind of voodoo magic are you guys into?
Do you hear what he said? This is why it's so profound for me. Here's a guy that went all over the world, spine specialist, to rebuild his spine. Do the demo. He goes, this is really different. He goes, what kind of voodoo science is this? These are the terms I get from people because it's like, I've never seen this before. I go, I know, isn't it amazing? I've been at this 11 years. I get excited like this every time I get to go share this with people. Why? Because I know what's going to happen. Because it starts with one and it just keeps going. So here we go, a bit more here. So these are other people I've met. Okay, this is Alfred with his mobility challenge. This is Marie. She had chronic pain. This is another Marie. I'll play this one because I want you, again, she's in a chair. She's got challenges. And I want you to, actually, I'll play Bonnie first in the middle here. I want you to listen to Bonnie about her pain. Okay? Just listen to her. Okay, I did the demo on her. The patch is on. Just listen to the story. It's so beautiful.
How's that?
Okay, I'm Bonnie Christie. I'm a nurse from Toronto, and I've been here for about 3 years. And the doctor said I have deterioration of the cerebellum, and I'll probably end up in total care with, I can't do anything. I don't want that, and things have been improving slowly. I've been trying and working, and then on Tuesday when we had the patch on, and the pain is gone. The pain particularly is the biggest thing. The pain in my legs, I haven't slept for maybe 2 hours every day. I had 6 hours sleep on Monday or Tuesday night. And last night I had the same thing. So the pain is gone. I can stand up a little bit, and the dizziness is much, much less. That's the big thing. So I'm going to work on that. I want to go back to my walker. I don't like being in a wheelchair. That's my goal.
See, I love these stories. This is what I live for. Tell you a little story on the side here. So as we started this journey, folks, I said we have the medical side. Okay, we got that. We started collecting stories, like all of us in the caregiving field, of people we've helped. So we have a testimonials page. We have over 70,000 testimonies. 70,000 of this gift in helping people, just like the Bonnies. So I'm just going to show you a couple things. This is what's possible with tech. All these patterns that we have work on different neural networks in the brain. I'm going to go quickly here. If you want more information, please reach out. There's lots of stuff we can send you. You saw we shared the study. We have a patch for pain. We have a patch for my athletes. We have a patch for mobility and stability. We have a patch for weight, body metabolism. A patch for people that are having just a rainy, cloudy days. Things are kind of tough. We have, just got to minimize it here on the top. We have a patch for anxiety. The anxiety of dealing with a challenged lover, caregiver, person we love. The stress of that. The patch that optimizes your skin. This one I love. This one optimizes your immune system. For my medical people out there, we do something called, I'll go quickly, called a live blood cell analysis. We change the physiology of the blood in under 30 minutes with this neurotech pattern. For those of you that have to do a lot of thinking, we have a focus patch, men's vitality, addiction networks, and sleep. And I'm almost done. And we have, where am I here? Hurry up, Kev, hurry up. The new one that's come out dealing with energy. Imagine wearing a patch that helps with balance and stability and optimizing your energy. So again, I don't treat, diagnose, and care, just optimize. Optimize different neurological networks that are responsible for different functions. And so on that note, it's my dog on the left. I love. That's the piece I get to walk with her
Yeah.
in my joy of what the dog gives for me and what I give back to her. It's the same joy I feel when I get to care for people and show them an option of what is out there in this world of science and technology and health and wellness and medical and functional neuroscience and all those big words. But I just want you to remember this. Imagine if I could help you get from a traffic jam to the beach in under 7 seconds. That's what we have with this technology. But you won't know if you don't try it. That's all I'm saying. So if this is like, man, this has got me spinning, Kev. Yeah, I know. You should see when I go present to the doctors. I went in Florida, I was at a couple of medical facilities, and they were like, what the heck is this? I met the PhDs and all those smart people. But what I learned, because I'm always learning, you don't know what you don't know. And we're always learning. That's why I'm so grateful for Linda for putting on the conference, just like you saw with the ads. Like urban polling has transformed my care for my clients that have those conditions that they're trying to ambulate, but they need help. They need, like, Kevin, I need training wheels. You got training wheels for me? I'll just stop the share here for a second here. He said, you got any training wheels, Kev? Yeah, I got these poles. All right, use them. Let me show you how to use, just like you saw in the advert. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I'm able to, I can get back to walking. Great. Keep going. Why? This is what the body was made to do. It was made to move. Every system in the body requires movement. So on that note, it's always a pleasure. And Linda, thank you so much for having me to share as part of your conference. And I just put it out there. If
Yep.
you are intrigued by what you saw, you can reach out to myself, you can reach out to Linda and say, this is like pretty cool stuff. That's right. And then we take it from there.
And if there's anyone, so Kevin's in Canada, I'm in Florida. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. If any of you would want us to come and do a demonstration or come to your senior community, either we could do it or we can find someone in your area that can do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we just cover our own areas, but wherever you are, if you're looking for somebody to come and do a demonstration in your community, or just even come and meet with you to tell you more about it, just email me at lindaburhans@aol.com and we will find someone for you.
Great.
Thank you so much, my friend. I so appreciate you. What's the last thing you want them to hear today?
Oh, last thing you want to hear. You know what? Never give up. Never lose hope, because there's always people out there that are cheering for you and pulling for you and are desiring to help you in your role as a caregiver, because I'm in that role right now in the clinic and with my family, but also for those that you are caring for, that there is some other options out there to help them with their quality of life. And like I said, Linda said, we're more than happy to pursue this on another call with your people.
Yeah.
And to show you firsthand with a live presentation
Yeah.
of what this tech does.
Nothing like the real thing. Yeah.
It's like, just like Coca-Cola, it's the real thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's a real thing. And you'll go, he's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's where we're
All
at.
right, my friend. Thank you so much for being with me today.
My
We'll talk
pleasure.
soon.
Okay, bless you. Take care. Bye.